Hello, hello, hello. Good evening, friends. I hope everyone is doing fantastic. So, I've just realized that I should probably start introducing myself in these recordings. Well, if you're new here, my name is Aisha, and I'm doing these recordings just to serve as a reminder um, of who you are generally, of what this life is all about. And if this sort of resonates with you, I hope you stick along. Comment below, like, share, subscribe if you feel called to. But yeah, so today I am here to talk about, or rather, I am here to remind you to make peace with who you are. Or more accurately, I suppose, is to make peace with where you are. That's another way of just saying accepting where you are, which is another way of saying meeting yourself where you are. It doesn't mean that you are complacent or you are doomed to be stuck in the current situation that you are in. No, it's not. Making peace with where you are is basically surrendering, I suppose, to the now present moment, meeting yourself where you are, because that's when you can impact positive change. Because if there's any level of resistance, if there's any level of non-acceptance, change might still come, but that change is tainted. It's tainted with generally the emotions that it might be associated, emotions that you associate with resistance. It may be tainted with fear, it may be tainted with anger. As opposed to if you make peace with where you are, if you make peace with your current situation, any change that comes from this is more likely to be a positive, impactful change. So the peace, the change would be of a higher frequency, if you like, because the change is coming from a place of peace. It's coming from a place of acceptance. It's coming from a place of it's coming from a place of non-resistance, basically. Does that make sense? Does that resonate with anyone? That's what I'm realizing. That's basically where I am as a person, if you like. I have just decided to fully and completely embrace where I am, to make peace with who I am in this now present moment, without judgment, without resistance. And it's basically being gentle in your approach. It's being tender in your approach. It's just complete acceptance. This is the situation. This is where I'm at. And then I stay with myself and see what comes. The change may not always come right away, or the right action, if you like, may not come right away. Actually, maybe I should rephrase that. The right action may be doing nothing. And if something's supposed to happen, you will get to know that in due course. That's what you want. You want it to be the right action. You want it to be inspired action. You want it to be action that arises from this present moment. You don't want to act based off of fear. You don't want to act based off of anger or based off of despair, because it taints your action. And if your action is tainted, your outcome will reflect your action, which also reflects your state of being from when that action was taken. Does that make sense? I hope this resonates with you, because for an impactful change, for an impactful influence, you need to be present with yourself. You need to make peace with yourself. Make peace with where you are. Because life is not the enemy. It is not. You know, I do see it in people. They treat life as an enemy. Their current situation, whatever that might be, you know, their current health status or relationship status or wealth or lack of wealth status. People see it as life working against you. But that's not the case. Life is always working for you, always working for you. And the goal is to have enough awareness to realize how things are the way they are. And it all comes from your state of being. It all comes from the frequency you're emanating. Most people don't realize that they're acting based off of fear or acting based off of lack, anger, resistance. And because this is the frequency they're in, whatever then manifests in their life is of a similar frequency. But if you want positive change, if you like, if you want something different, you have to feel different, which is you have to be okay with where you are. You have to be okay with who you are. And for me, at the moment, peace seems to be the perfect word to describe that. Make peace with yourself. Make peace with life. See that at some point, whatever you're trying to change at the moment, at some point it worked for you. It's more so the emotion, isn't it? But the goal is to sort of make your way through that emotion and not to be stuck in an endless loop of the same emotion, which then creates very similar situations of the same frequency. Situations of the same frequency just going round and round in the same loop of emotional frequency state. Does that make sense? But to sort of move to a different frequency, if that's what you're aiming for, you have to embody that feeling first. You know, you have to cultivate the feeling of peace, the feeling of fulfillment, the feeling of joy, the feeling of abundance, love, security, safety, joy, fun, bliss. Whatever you're aiming for, you have to feel that deep within your core, because you can only become what you are. You cannot become something you are not. And you cannot manifest a life situation in one state and expect for it to be sort of fulfilled in a different state. It doesn't work. Whatever state you're in when you take the action will determine the outcome, will determine the state of the outcome. So it's about the quality of your life. It's about the quality of the manifestation, because you are always creating, you are always manifesting. But ask yourself, what is the quality? What is the frequency behind this creation or behind this manifestation? Like I've said this before, it really is not what you do or what you say, is the frequency behind what you do and what you say. You want it to be of a higher quality, of a higher frequency. Does that make sense? It doesn't make the others' feelings bad. It's just you don't want to be stuck in that frequency level. If that's not your plan, then you have to make peace with who you are, because who you are is perfect. Who you are is enough. Who you are is worthy. Who you are is deserving. And ultimately, who you are is love. That's it for now. I hope there was a message in there for you that resonates. If it does, please comment, like, share, subscribe if you feel called to. I'll speak to you soon. Bye-bye.